Hey everybody, and welcome to my plus size grandma with Miss Coco Bowden. Y'all, I had a full day today, and I'm ending today on a good note. It's just so much that I could say about today, and I won't put it all out there, but I'll give you some of it. First off, my day started out at the pulmonary doctor, the one that does the checking up on my lungs and stuff to make sure everything is good. I've been going to see him, I started out going to see him every 3 months, and in 2015. Then I started going to see him every 6 months. And now I'm doing so well with my allergies and stuff that he's like, come back in 12 months. I said, 12 months? Are you serious? I was so happy to hear it was good news. My test results and everything was good on my lungs. My main thing now is to try to stay away from this pet dander and keep my allergies under control. And pretty much everything else is good. And then I went to Daymart to my group therapy. And it was another great experience for me. I didn't think about too much while I was there, but once I got home, I got to thinking about how once I got home, and it didn't even hit me till now. I mean, I had a great time in therapy. I was able to release a lot and, just, be myself. That's one thing that you can do. You're around people you don't know, so you get to be the real you. The real you, right? Which we can sometimes hide. We can sometimes hide who we really are because we don't want people to think that we're weird or anything. And sometimes we just try to fit in too hard. And so we end up getting confused about who we are and losing ourselves. The confusion part I don't have, but the part about not really being myself around people, I do have that part. At times, I do feel like I'm not really being myself around people. Certain people. Actually, everyone except for one person. And that one person, I'm just kind of feeling bad for tonight. I was just looking to see, when you're faced with the anxiety and stuff like I have, sometimes we tend to take out things on the one person that does know us the most. And I know firsthand how that feels and how that can make you feel really low yourself. And it can put you in a box. And I know how that feels. But after tonight, thinking and, going over my homework, because we do get homework to come home to do to help work on ourselves. I saw a mime and I was like, wow, that is so mean. And it makes you wonder if the reason why relationships aren't working are because you're so paranoid and always thinking the worst. I mean, I grew up and I'm still around people who just always think the worst of things and don't see any positivity in life, really. So I was looking up what I could do as far as when I do talk to my BF, when I talk to him, how I can talk to him, how I can change, my behavior and my thinking pattern, how I can interrupt that negative thinking that comes on. See, I'm not negative in public. I'm not negative at home. But it's like when I get chance to be myself with him, it's like I'm starting to notice that, yeah, I am kind of negative in that area. Kind of negative. But I read this and I said, it says dating someone with anxiety. This is what it says. Them asking you the same question at least 10 times. Them saying sorry at least 3 times a day. You promising them it's okay. Ordering food for them. Making phone calls for them. Repeating the same directions 3 times. Then just going with them. Texts as soon as you leave. Sweaty palms. Constant reassuring. Them constantly changing their mind. Checking to make sure something is done correctly over and over. You know, like writing an address, phone number. Always being early, never being late. Yes, it's at 4:30. And I realized that, a lot of that is me. A lot of it is me. It really is. That's how I act toward my BF. Who best time in the world. So I'm trying to change how I am towards him, because he hasn't been bad to me. It's just that when my thoughts get to running, I can only hold them back for so long before I act on them. I can go 2 or 3 days. Whose heart gets hit the most is the person that you're the closest to. And right now at this time, he's the one that I'm the closest to, because I'm not really trying to be up on anybody else that's negative right now, until I get strong enough and have enough endurance to handle things that they say. But yeah, I really just hate that things are that way. So shout out to the men who are dealing with women who have constant mood swings, and I guess it could be kind of insecure thoughts and stuff, because when I look at the things that I went through in my relationship, when I was in a relationship, I would not wish those things on anyone. And I certainly would not want the tables to turn and throw them and be the bully that's doing that to someone. I went through a whole lot. And I thought I had dealt with all that stuff, but I didn't. In fact, what I did was stay busy. I had the energy of I would say 13, 14-year-old for the last 4 years. I didn't stay in one place. I was always on the run. And right now, to be honest, I would probably still be on the run. If I had a car, I wouldn't be here. I would be riding out somewhere, doing something. I would have my hands into everything right now if I had a car and could go. So what ended up happening was I had to end up staying in my home since last year. And that's when everything really started blowing up for me. That's when I started realizing that I was having issues beyond my control. But it just took that one situation to happen in my life that pushed everything to the surface. I'm talking about it pushed anxiety to the surface. It pushed depression to the surface. Everything that I was suppressing on the inside that I thought I had dealt with was pushed to the front. And now that's what I'm dealing with. And it's not fair to my friend that he has to get the worstest end of it all. Because I don't want him to end up like that, for sure. It's not fair to him that he has to go through that. So I'm going to probably cut back on talking with him some. Because It is really bad for me at times, and I can be a handful, and I don't want to be a handful. I don't want to be dramatic and all that stuff. I mean, it's draining, and it's irritating, and it's getting to the point where it agitates me. So I know it's agitating him, and we have been going through this with me for the last 5 years. That's how long it's been that he's been dealing with it, and I just pray that he's not scarred by any of this stuff. I just pray that he's not, because he doesn't deserve that. I didn't deserve it, and he certainly does not deserve it. Another thing I found too was saying having anxiety in relationships is double checking messages to make sure you read them right. I do that all the time. Even if he sends me like one word or 4 words, I will go back and reread my texts over and over to make sure that I'm getting at least a piece of an understanding of what he's saying, and getting jealous easily. I don't know about the jealous thing. I kind of have this thing where I don't care nothing about being jealous of nobody no more, because I do already feel in my heart that if a person wants you, they won't give you a reason to be jealous, and you won't have to, battle that portion of things. I mean, a little jealousy is fine, but when you steady obsessing over it, that I will not do. I already know that, because I've been down that path and it didn't work for me. So that's one thing I know I will not do. The next thing is fear of not being good enough. Yeah, I've had that several times. Several times I could dress up and maybe not get a compliment, and I feel like I'm not good enough. Then when he does compliment, I feel like he's just doing it because I got on him. So he's poor fella's probably confused. He's probably confused worse than me. Might be why we're good together. Fear of being annoying. Yes, I do fear that I can just irritate him so bad till I feel like he pulls away sometimes, Fear of being unattached. Yeah, I honestly was thinking that earlier. I was like, our connection is not the same anymore. I don't feel comfortable telling him stuff like I used to tell him. Fear of being too clingy. Yeah, I ask him all the time, am I doing too much? If I'm doing too much, just let me know. Y'all, this stuff got me down pat to the T. I want to tell anybody that's listening that's even if you are saved, I want you to know that we still do have flesh bodies. It's not easy battling your mind, and it takes work. Once it's renewed, it takes work to keep it that way. And just when you think everything is going good, next thing you know, something knocks you off track, and that's daily. That's daily for a person with anxiety and depression. It's daily that we get knocked off track, but we have to get back up. We have to get back up and, do what we got to do to push through the day. We got to fight like hell. It's dry in my house, so my throat is dry. But yeah, we got to fight like hell to remain who we are, or, to remain, what's the word I'm looking for? To remain present in the present and not have a wandering mind. I don't know about anybody else, but I have that fight. It's not every day, but I do have it. It's not every day that I have to go through it, but when I do go through it, it's rough. It's rough. And I mean, it takes I have to go reading my Bible. I have to start praying, meditating. I have to start writing. I have several tools that I have to use. Sometimes I can only use one and get through the day. And